Hey, this is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and you're watching GNR Central. Yeah!
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to GNR Central. And I wanted to talk about the news today. So any of you guys who listen to Eddie Trunk's show, I want to thank Tim for sending me this because I'm not a regular listener of Eddie's show. If I catch it, I'll listen to it, but I'm not a devout listener. I'm not a huge fan of Eddie Trunk. I find him he's kind of a blowhard, especially when he goes on about everybody he knows in Guns N' Roses camp, and he never seems to get an interview with Axl, even after 12 years since his last Axl interview. So he told a story on his show recently about one of the times that Slash came on his show. He talked about how, I think he's talking about when he's broadcasting from Sirius XM, how there's a lot of TMZ guys outside of the studios. They're trying to get, photographs and video of the celebrities who come to and from the show. And there's also a lot of autograph seekers who hang out in that crowd as well. So he told a story about the time that Slash came to his show. Slash stayed the entire show with Eddie, and they walked out together. And he said one guy had like 15 pick guards and wanted Slash to sign them. And Slash kind of knew that, okay, this guy's going to basically put them up on eBay and then try to make some money off of it. So Slash kind of told the guy, listen, I know what you're doing, but I'm not going to sign him. But then Slash ended up changing his mind and ended up signing a couple of the pick guards. So here's the audio from Eddie's show where he tells the story.
When she ran down the lobby.
I literally ran down the fucking
And he
hall.
was gone?
Gone.
In the elevator.
Yeah.
I guarantee you this. Now, I don't want to get you in trouble, but if you go to the lobby, I guarantee you there's fans down there.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be fighting the fans, though.
Undoubtedly.
I mean, there's definitely going to be people on the street as he tries to walk out of here. We get that all the time in this building. You'll see people gathered on the sidewalk. You'll see TMZ down there. I don't know if Geddy Lee is TMZ material, and I say that just because he's not a gossip guy, but when we get those pop artists or actors in here, you see those TMZ guys down there all the time.
There's two guys. I think they're identical twin brothers who are there literally every morning waiting for celebs.
TMZ guys or?
No, just guys.
Yeah, I've talked to the TMZ guys a couple times. Just, hey, what's going on? I see them, I just wave and I say, hey, and they know who I am. They say hello, whatever, but... The thing about this building, for the people that do scout out for whoever's in here for autographs, is you can get in this building on two different sides of the street. It's a huge New York City block, so you can't come into the lobby because there's security. But on the sidewalk, where the cars are waiting for these guys when they walk out, there is two sides to the building. 48, 49. So you got to really flip a coin if you're going to be one of those people waiting, because you don't know, and we don't know, and no one knows really what side they're going to come out. If they cut a right or a left out of the elevator, you're screwed if you pick the wrong side, because you can't cut through the lobby because there's security. And by the time you run around the building and get to the other street, unless the artist really stopped and really took time to sign out on the street, they're in their car and out of there by the time you get there. I will never forget one time. I got a couple great stories about people walking out of buildings with autograph seekers. I remember one time I walked out of this building with Slash. He had done my show and we finished, and he went till the end of the show with me, so we walked out of the building together. And there was a guy standing down there, and he had like 15 pick guards. Now, most people who especially are guitar players, they won't sign pick guards because they know they're only going to be plastered on a guitar and then used to be sold, put on guitars. And the guy, Slash looks at the guy and he goes, the guy's got like 15 pick guards. And the guy goes, come on, man, sign it. Come on, buddy. Come on. And he just Slash knew that the guy was probably just going to eBay him or whatever. So Slash just looking at him, he goes, come on, man. And the guy goes, dude, I just want to get something to eat. I need to make some money. Come on, man, help me out. He goes, I am going to sell him. All right, I'm telling you, I am going to sell him. He just copped to it. And Slash looked and he goes, you know what? Appreciate the fact that you're at least being honest. He goes, so I'll sign him. Not all 15, he did like 3. He goes, hey, have a good holiday or whatever. So honesty paid off. It's just like the homeless guy that we see sometimes on the corner of the street. He has a sign that says, needs cigarettes and beer, not food or, got to feed my dog or rent.
Now I want to cover a story that maybe you guys missed because I covered it on my other YouTube channel when I had GNR Central 2. And I still do have GNR Central 2. I plan on using that channel to cover a lot of other rock and roll true stories about other bands besides GNR. So make sure you guys go subscribe to it. The link is down below. So Duff McKagan is going to be releasing a solo album in 2019. Now we had reported on this well throughout the year because there was little tidbits that he referred to as recording his own material instead of writing a new book. And Shooter Jennings, who's the producer, also said he's working with Duff, as well as another guitarist who's also played on the record. So it hasn't been revealed when the album is going to come out, but it's going to come out some point in 2019. So he's been working with producer Shooter Jennings, who actually auditioned for Velvet Revolver. And basically Duff said it's a musical follow-up to his 2015 book, How to Be a Man and Other Illusions, which I thought was an okay book. His first book was so good that I had such high hopes for a second book, and I found it a bit disappointing, but I still found it an enjoyable read. So I really do hope that Duff keeps writing in the future because he's a great writer and he's really good at holding someone's interest. So according to the press release, the songs for the As of Yet titled record were inspired by Duff McKagan's global travels on Guns N' Roses' recent Not in This Lifetime tour. So Duff put out a statement saying, I wrote a couple of articles about historical places I passed through on this last tour, and people kept asking me if that was going to be the focus of my next book, he said. But an unseen and irrepressible force guided me to write a little vignettes of reflective prose, little instant reactions, the heartbreak, anger, fear, confusion, and divide I've experienced over the last 2.5 years of traveling this globe of ours coerce these words into songs that tell my truth, and one I hope that will spread and help us all. I think what he means by that is it's going to be a political album, probably. He also said, I do this for my daughters. I do this for the love of where I grew up. I do this because I truly feel it must be done and said right now. He said, from the first night we sat together at my piano hashing out arrangements on his songs, before going into the studio to record them, I felt it was a really important record that had to be heard, Shooter Jennings added. The songs have so much heart and are so musical that I could just hear all the arrangements immediately and I could really feel them. So given that there's going to be probably piano on, it's going to probably sound a hell of a lot different than to his 1993 album Believe in Me, which I kind of find odd that he doesn't really play any of those songs when he plays his solo shows or when he plays with Loaded. Maybe to him it's an album he doesn't really want to look back on. So Jennings, who's the son of country legend Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter, has been recording as a solo artist since 2005 and portrayed his father in Walk the Line, the 2005 Johnny Cash biopic. So he began recording with McKagan at the Station House Studios in Echo Park, California back in March of this year when Guns N' Roses had some time off before their European tour kicked off, and fit sessions in between their respective busy schedules in the latest step in the long-lasting friendship between the pair. He said that I met Duff right after I moved to Los Angeles nearly 20 years ago, Jennings noted. I was such a massive GNR fan when I was younger. I'd say that that had a lot to do with me moving to LA, but there was some kind of magnetic force, I guess, that kept us orbiting each other over the years. When the idea of collaborating with him on the album came up, I was eager to get this job as a producer. I felt like the music this man made was part of the fabric of my own musical identity, and that I would really love building a record with him. Once we sat down together and started going over the songs he had, I instantly knew the two of us were going to make a great fit together. So as we get more news on this record and when it may come out, I'll keep you guys updated. We've also got some Joe Rogan news and Guns N' Roses news. So I have become a fan of Joe Rogan over the past little while here. I was a big Howard Stern fan. I still am, but I just find his shows not as good as he used to be. So I found myself listening to a lot of Joe Rogan's shows from time to time. And I want to thank Tim for sending me this as well. So he had Eddie Bravo on, and they were talking about fighting and stuff and jiu-jitsu. But then the topic turned to Guns N' Roses, and Eddie Bravo revealed that he wasn't really a huge GNR fan back in the day, largely because he had friends who kind of claimed Guns N' Roses as their favorite band, so then he didn't really feel like he could claim them as his favorite band. So then he said he recently saw them in Mexico City, so he wasn't clear whether it was in 2016, 17, or 18, but he said that he was blown away by how good the band was. And he said it's one of those bands that was huge in the 80s, disappeared for 20 years, and now has come back and is selling out everywhere. So if you guys want to listen to the entire interview, or at least the portion they talk about GNR, I've linked to it down below. So that basically does it for today's news, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And with the year coming to a close, we're also going to be doing our top 5 best and worst Guns N' Roses moments of the year. So stay tuned for that, and I'd love to hear your guys' list in the comment section, either on this video or when I release those videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, and be sure to go check out GNRcentral.com for the latest Guns N' Roses and related news as it breaks. Take care.